At the school opening ceremony, this kid pushed a bicycle right into the venue like he owned the place. In an instant, everyone's eyes were on him. And this kid was pretty weird. He noticed the line was arranged by height, so he pushed his bike around comparing his height with students in the front row. Parents nearby didn't know whether to laugh or be annoyed. Even the school's prettiest girl couldn't help but be amazed. Not only that, every test, he'd show up in the last 5 minutes. The moment he sat down, he'd start answering questions. The proctor walked by him, glanced at his test paper. The teacher's eyes went wide. The paper looked like complete nonsense, but every answer was correct. The teacher never expected this kid to be so smart. When collecting papers, Zoe, the school beauty, reminded him to transfer his answers to the answer sheet. He just scribbled a couple of marks and turned it in. Zoe was completely stunned. She was intensely curious about this strange boy. After observing him for a long time, Zoe discovered James was an absolute genius. Tap his right shoulder and he could tell someone was on his left. Poke his right ear and while most people would scratch it with their right hand, only he used his left. Even stranger was the way he looked at his nails. Normal people curl their fingers inward to check their nails. James did it with his palm facing out. In the days that followed, Zoe openly watched James. Wherever James went, Zoe followed closely. Being stared at like that made James' skin crawl. Left with no choice, James moved to another table to read, but Zoe still stuck to him. This made James pretty annoyed. James left muttering complaints under his breath. Zoe thought to herself, she was the prettiest girl in school after all. Why was he so cold to her? Zoe suspected James must have a girlfriend, but her best friend didn't think so. To get to the bottom of it, Zoe went through James' backpack. She found a letter addressed to the president. Turns out James grew up in a small village. Every day going to and from school, he had to pass through 3 tunnels and cross 3 bridges. Every year many villagers were killed by trains in the tunnels. James' sister had drowned in the water, so James regularly wrote letters to the president, hoping that one day, the president could build a simple train station in the village. But James had already written over 50 letters. He'd never received any response. Zoe was completely absorbed when James caught her. The next day on the way to school they met again. Zoe rolled down her window to apologize to James. James completely ignored her. Zoe didn't give up. She told him he couldn't write letters in dialect. Plus they were full of typos. How could a letter like that possibly move the president? From then on Zoe became James' tutor. James became Zoe's little sidekick. Every day he'd eat tteokbokki with her, play arcade games with her, and had to draw sketches for her. James couldn't figure out what any of this had to do with writing letters. He picked up a big rock and threw it in the water. Water splashed all over Zoe. After spending so much time together their relationship grew closer. When James mailed a letter, Zoe would send one too. 2 letters are better than 1.